And we are
Okay.
live for the third and hopefully final time.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about I don't even want to talk about boobs anymore. That's so upsetting. I've
But
lost.
uh, what Sabrina Carpenter has said before, that third time's the charm ain't always true.
Who's Sabrina Carpenter? Oh,
She was
She
on
did
Girl
that. She
Meets
did that
World.
cover of
yeah.
50/50.
She was on Boy Meets World. Who the fuck was she?
Girl Meets World.
Oh, Girl Meets. Oh, was she the girl?
No, she was the girl's best friend.
Oh, okay. I'm like, was she the girl in Girl Meets World? Is that show already canceled? I feel like
It ended after I think season 3.
it's funny because I feel like that show like.
Mhm.
It was on my radar. I mean, I thought I was ever gonna watch it. It was on my radar. I'm like, oh shit, they're bringing it back, and then like, I didn't hear about it anymore. I mean, I'm sure it came out and did well. I don't know, but I'm like, oh, it's gone already, isn't it? That was like 10 years ago. I feel like I heard about it.
I mean, it was okay. It was definitely much more of a Disney like kids comedy than Boy Meets World was. Kind of wish it probably gotten to go on longer, to maybe mature with the audience a bit. It was fun to go see tapings though. I saw I think 2 or 3 episode
saw
tapings.
tapings of Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
Did you see Sabrina Carpenter? Was she singing
Yes.
a song?
No.
She's probably like 12. Well, she wasn't that. How long? Wait, how old is she now? Now I'm looking all this up. Oh, she's 24 now. She wasn't that young. Okay, she wasn't a baby. When did Girl Meets World end?
Like 2018, 2019, I want to say.
Wait, she was in Mean Girls? She played the main girl Katie in the original cast of Mean Girls. Wow, Girl Meets World came out in 2014.
Yeah.
I was joking when I said 10 years ago. I'm gonna die now. I'll just lay down and die. I feel like that was a lot more recent. My God.
I kind of agree. I kind of felt like it was a lot more recent too. But then again, when I heard about it, I remember that Parks and Rec was like also ending. So yeah,
I saw this video. I remember the YouTuber. Some YouTuber made a video about like the fuck is her name? Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza.
About Aubrey Plaza's like career and like basically the whole point of the video was like how she was so known for Parks and Rec and blah 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 and how it was so hard for her to break. I'm like,
I knew her from like
I've never heard of her. I didn't even know she was in Parks and Rec until that video.
she's in Scott
How
Pilgrim.
did you not know she was in Parks and Rec?
Well, I've never seen it to begin with, but still.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen Parks and Rec? It's such a good show.
Is it?
It's
It always
good.
felt
It's
like
made
The
by the people
Office
who
to
made
me.
The Office.
Oh my God. Did you hear what I just said? It always felt like The Office to me in that like it was the kind of humor that I just don't quite get.
Oh, they improved it. Like they had more direction. Okay, here's the thing. Parks and Rec, the first 2 seasons of Parks and Rec are a slightly better version of The Office, but it's still very, very like it reminds people a lot of The Office. So when they came back in season 3, they introduced some new characters. They got rid of one of the characters that was kind of like the Jim of the show, and they realized they didn't need him, so they ended up getting rid of him. That one girl that became Ann Perkins, they knew how to do more of I'm delayed by a couple seconds. Okay, cool beans.
Yeah,
but they knew.
Okay, I thought that was just on our end. Yeah, he's like his mouth is moving like after that he's saying, but it is what it is. That's on his end. So I think it has nothing to do with JD for the record.
Maybe that's on my end. I look normal on the Discord right here, but when I actually look over,
you don't to us. Maybe start your camera and start it up again, because
what?
Like just turn it off and on.
Just cover your mouth so they'll never know.
Yeah, just do
a manual.
Just be me. Like you never know when I'm 10 seconds delayed.
Okay, how's this?
No, okay.
No, it's the same. It's fine.
We'll deal with it.
I'm delayed. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it feels like we're watching like a really bad. Like you ever watch like those really bad dubs of like Hong Kong movies? Like, or you go watch Speed Racer, like old school Speed Racer, where like nothing matched the mouth flaps. You look like that.
Okay. My mouth flaps.
It's funny because I remember going to see a what the fuck's his name? The Crispin
Landline Motives. I'm on fiber.
Crispin Freeman?
Yeah, I went to go see Crispin Freeman's panel at like a Long Beach Comic Con like in 2008 or 9, a long time ago. Very young Crispin Freeman, and he was talking about like, and this at the time, this was one of the first times I'd ever heard about like, you know, how they dub anime or whatever, and they were talking about counting mouth flaps and whatever. And mind you, up to this point in my life, I had worked on some films that did ADR, but we didn't call them mouth flaps, and like it was like because we were matching humans to like dialogue that they either already said or that like we're just redoing. So like the idea, I'm like, you actually count those, and that's the way you like do dubs, and I'm like, like, why? Like just fucking just say anything. Just say anything and just like fucking yeah, just who the fuck cares? Like I don't. Dubs suck anyways.
Oh my gosh, stop saying that dubs suck.
Manuel stuck in 2005.
No, actually, you know what's funny? You say that. I was mentioning this to JD, and this is actually kind of topical because technically, I was going to mention it at the end, but I'll mention it now, and I'll mention why I'm bringing it up. I'm not going to be on UPZ next week because I'm preparing for a con in Vegas. Now, technically, I should have enough time that doesn't matter because the con's not at the end of the week. But there's a panel that I'm trying to like write and really get down. And it's funny because I wrote the outline of it today, and part of me wonders if I could still do UPZ because I'm like, this probably won't take me as long as I thought it would, but I still want to give it a good time. I want it to be a good panel, even though I'm sure like 10 people will go to it. And it's about Journeys to the West and how it influenced like anime and blah, blah, blah. But I watched a bunch of shit, and I watched Saiyuki the other day, and I watched like the first like 10 episodes of it just to get a feel for it. And that dub, oh my god, that dub is like everything. Like, and see, that's what I'm saying. Watch the Saiyuki dub today, and this is why people think anime dubs are shit. Because that was I remember when that anime came out, that was a high profile show. It was on the cover of like New Type USA. It was on the cover of Animerica. It was a huge release for Geneon, whoever the fuck released. I don't have no idea who released it. It's under someone. Oh, by the way, I fucking love Saiyuki. By the way, Saiyuki also is a perfect example of what's wrong with licensing today. Each of the seasons, I think, are on different services. Like season 2 is on Retro Crush. Season 1, I think, is on Crunchyroll. And then, like, yeah, it's all across the board. And the whole entire show is not on the same streaming service. I ended up having to put it just because it was too much of a hassle. Anyway, but the dub is terrible. It's the perfect example of 15ing, where like
15ing.
Yes, now 15ing is technically a UK term because it's like, I guess the equivalent. Nobody says this term, but it's kind of the equivalent of PG-13ing, where like you make the dialogue more edgy to make it sound like it's for older people. Like you add in fucks and shits. And the original one will have like Goku or Sanzo or someone going, yeah. But the dub, it's like, eat shit, asshole. And I'm not making that up. They actually say shit like that. And like what blew my mind is like there's a whole running gag thing between the water dude whose name I forget Sagojo, but I forget, yeah, Sagojo, that's his character's name. Gojo and Goku. There's a running gag, they don't like each other or whatever, and they're always saying crazy shit to each other, like lots of curse words, but more than once, several times, they're like, oh, you effing F word, and you know what F word I'm saying if it's not the effing one. The gay slur. And I'm like, oh my god. The first time it happened, like my mouth dropped, like jaw dropped to the floor. Like, you got to be kidding me! Oh my god! And then they keep saying it, and I know this dub came out like 2006 or something. So like, people just said that, but I'm like, I'm sure that's not on anyone's reel anymore. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah, most of them have been working for 20 years. I would assume a lot of the early work's off the reels at this point.
But my point is, it still is a high-profile show. I'm sure at some point it had as many numbers as like whatever the fuck is a hit today. And to some fans, myself included, because that's kind of like my era of anime, that's what I think of when I think of dubs. And I know it's funny because like I never actually did. I don't think I noticed that when I was younger. And then again, I don't know if I ever watched the dub because I think even when I was younger, there were similar issues. I was annoyed that the first season has a different cast than the second season. because of like dub bullshit, licensing bullshit. So I just watched the whole thing like on a bootleg DVD I said Chinese, Japanese. I'm being racist, but no, I said Chinese for the record. I wasn't being racist. I'm thinking about Journey to the West. But anyways, that dub is terrible. Don't like, and it's a actual like for the time AAA dub. It's wild, and it's just bad in general. Like everyone's doing really weird, over the top acting, and like, yeah, I don't know. Dubs suck. Is that controversial?
Yeah,
is that controversial enough?
Yes.
No, actually, I will admit dubs have.
What about that
gotten better.
amazing Garo like anime from like a few years back? Remember the sheer
okay, well,
insanity
that
of
is
the dub
also
in
closer
that
to
one,
10
where there's,
now.
like, Weapon?
That one is also closer to 10 now. I know which one you're referencing.
Right? Like that was like way
yeah.
out there. Like especially when there were some scenes where like this one guy's defending her from like a total asshole type, but like the words that are coming out of their mouths even feel very like it's like we have progressed. We have progressed to the point where still in the year of wait, what year was it again? You're saying it's running on 10. Was it also like 2014?
I don't think
Maybe
it's that
2014,
old.
26. You're talking the My First Girlfriend's a Gal, right?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. I laughed so hard in the dub. I think the dub is good. I don't know why so many people were like losing their shit over it. I'm like, guys, look at this. Like we know that everyone feels like, yes, I'm just doing I'm gonna say some cringe things. It's kind of whatever. It'll never be as bad as that one girl that said that one thing that always gets cast in all of these fucking. It will never be that bad. And yet, right there, it's like, this is gold, man. This is absolutely gold. This man is defending his woman from this sheer asshole, and they just gave him the weirdest lines to read ever. It is pure magic.
See, I don't know. Like for every good dub, I think there are bad dubs, and like. I think that obviously, I think the biggest thing with the whole sub versus dub argument, like anything in life, it's a very nuanced discussion. For once, I'm being actually reasonable here. Yeah, it's very nuanced.
Wow, I didn't know Manuel knew the word nuance.
There are pros and cons. There are lots of pros. I don't want to make it sound like there's like, oh, the only pro is you can watch it in the background, like be lazy.
That is literally something you said like a week or two ago. You know that, right?
I was gonna say that is my biggest pro, but even I'll admit that there are other reasons. Like I said this before, but I'm a lot more lenient, if that's even the right word to use, when it comes to dubbing anime, because in Japan, the dub process usually does come after the animation is done anyway, unlike American animation. So technically, it's all dubbed when you think about it in that sense. And because anime these days is dubbed so quickly, it's usually dubbed similar, like simul dubbed. If that's even a term that anyone uses.
That is a copyright of, I think, now Crunchyroll.
Oh shit! Patent pending.
Wait,
but yeah,
the actual word now
probably
is
simul-dub
is a copyrighted term.
It's probably registered trademark.
It is some property of Crunchyroll Industries.
So at that point,
that's why other places just call them like broadcast dubs. Essentially,
that makes sense.
That is literally genuinely terrible. Like, are you kidding me?
They're the Gene Simmons of anime. And for those who don't know, Gene Simmons is a patent troll. He'll patent anything, like trademark anything, and then just sit on them forever and make money off of shit he didn't invent. I guess you could say Crunchyroll did too, but it's a term. Just let everyone use it. Anyway.
Well, to be fair, Karma then served him in the face because his son later made a copy of Bleach, so that was funny.
His son? Gene Simmons's?
Yeah, apparently, Gene Simmons's son decided he was going to make a comic, but when a lot of people that were reading his comic noticed that he was stealing, he was literally stealing like panel for panel, like moments from Bleach. Like if he literally traced over that shit.
Where's H Bomber guy? Let's get him on this. What the fuck? I remember hearing about that. Oh, he's a plagiarist. I love it. He's married to Shannon Tweed, who I used to who I used to love when I was a lot younger. Because for those who don't know this, Shannon Tweed was very infamous. Or famous, I should say infamous. She's very famous for starring in a lot of what we would call erotic thrillers. like those Skinamax movies where like, it's technically a murder mystery type deal, the actual movie, but there's a lot of sex, And I remember I used to always like watching those movies at night. Yeah. It's just I was a pervert. What am I gonna say? But I love Cheddar
Okay,
Tweed. Cheddar Tweed.
Manuel's. No, I was gonna say, because this is the third time we've started this podcast. Do we actually want to get to the intro and what we're supposed to be talking about?
Oh, I forgot. I'm
We
not
haven't
gonna
even
lie.
done
Like,
an intro yet.
I
Oh
like how we
shoot!
do, I like how each third time we still manage to take like 15 minutes to get to the point. Which, by the way, we were
Hey,
almost getting to the point.
it's not bad, because if Stephanie Sue with Rotten Mango can spend an entire intro going in like one big ass circle before her intro even actually rolls, I think we are allowed to do the exact same thing. Someone needs to put that little girl in her place. And by little girl, I mean clearly she's like 20 something or might even be older, but like genuinely, yeah, bully Stephanie Sue, bully Rotten Mango. Yeah.
Okay, everyone, let's all travel over to her social media and bully her as one person, because that's what we do at A to J Connections. We are cyber bullies. Someone clip that.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Please don't.
We are cyber bullies. No, but really don't. Maybe don't bully her. I don't know. But then again,
Please
No,
don't.
don't bully her. Her and her husband had a weird ass stalker like about a few months back.
I was gonna say, like, I remember hearing about the stalker, but even beyond that, she did get raked through the coals a lot when she was doing her true crime mukbangs back in the day. So she's already had it. She's
Okay, Manuel. I'm just gonna try to stop our pre-intro second tangent from going on.
Crime
Maybe
mukbangs. That's what we're gonna do. I ordered a bucket of KFC and a whole lot of sides, and we're gonna eat it and talk about why the fuck is Keanu Reeves.
I don't think that's a mukbang. I think that's a mekbang. Like MC.
But then I want to eat all this and discuss why the fuck is Keanu Reeves playing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay, welcome to Ultra Podcast Z, episode
we
236.
actually never introed anything. Yeah, sorry. So welcome to Ultra Podcast Z, episode 236. I'm Manuel, leader of ADJ Connections, and there's Josh Photaku. And we started this podcast 3 times. If you want to hear the story about the full story about why I owe JD $600, if you want to hear my hot takes on the softcore porn horror movie type things like Lust for the Dead and Zombie Ass, if you want to hear about yeah, you can. If you want to hear about me talk about High School of the Dead and how like I went to go see that with my ex-girlfriend at AX, that was a fun story. What the fuck?
Yeah,
it was a fun story.
We can talk about it if we have time later.
Yeah. Anyways, I actually want to watch High School of the Dead again. Like I wonder. I liked it when I was younger, and not just for the titties. It was a good show, and I remember being really upset about the cliffhanger ending, where like that one dude was gonna be evil. Like he was basically like the governor kind of shit going on, before the governor. Or it's gonna be. Like obviously he wasn't yet, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so good. Can't wait for season 2.
we just didn't get it, and genuine shame. Though yeah. I would say though that is also a dubbed anime that is amazing, because oh my gosh, like, okay, I know I brought up the Garo like what's it called, anime, and how like that's like, like just crazy with how they go off. I'm just gonna say every moment of the dub of High School of the Dead is just actual genuine gold writing. There is just everyone is exactly saying what I expect them to. Everyone feels real because of that. There is a reference to Walmart, and I don't even know if Walmart even has a footing in fucking Japan, but yeah, it's funny. And Cheetos. Cheetos.
Also Sarah Palin.
This Sarah. Oh my god. Where
they find all the guns.
No, she does get referenced in the dub.
I remember that actually. Yeah, I don't know. I watched the first few episodes and like
that was the scariest like Republican back in the day.
No, it's funny because like I showed it on the UPZ a while ago, and that's actually a deeper story about why on the Ghost Stories dub, but we won't go into that here. But I showed the clip from Ghost Stories, another really wacky dub from back in the day.
Yeah, if you want to talk about dubs with some problematic stuff.
Okay, well, Ghost Stories, I'm gonna give you the really fast version. Did you know that it was like the common lore, and this is still what you look at if you go to the Wikipedia page, they'll still tell you this story. Everyone still thinks this is true. The common lore is that the Ghost Stories dub is bad because the anime failed. It was given to ADV as part of a package deal, and they're like, do what you want, until they did. Because did you know all that's a lie?
I
Every
think
part
you
of
told
that.
me once before at one of your panels that people
Yeah.
should totally go and check out so
Exactly.
they can always get the record straight.
Yeah.
But continue.
Every single
Actually,
part of
continue
that
though,
story.
because it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Every single part of that story is a lie. Every single part. The anime it comes from, I mean the anime, the franchise it comes from, Ghost Stories. I forgot what the fuck it's actually called, but it's like Japanese school ghost stories. It is a long running franchise.
Manuel,
huh?
I have it up. It's literally school ghost stories. Gakko no Kaidan.
Yeah, it's a long running franchise. There have been DS games, there's been live action movies. I think there was a TV show, like a live action TV show, and there was the anime. This was by no means a tiny no name show. When it got the anime was so anticipated, it was a fill in between the Naruto seasons. And that might sound like, oh, well, they didn't care about it. But no, that was actually a very, very important fought over time spot. They gave it a prime time time spot. The reason it's only 20 episodes is because of Naruto, not because, oh, they ran out of money and they had to cut it short. No, it was always meant to be 20 episodes because that's the slot it was meant to fill in.
Also,
Huh?
Manuel, to correct you, the only thing that Wikipedia says about its success is sources conflict as to whether the anime's original run was successful or not, though there is evidence of it having a relatively successful run. Nevertheless, it received notoriety in the succeeding years with its official English dub, which mostly replaced the original script for the series with pop culture references and dark humor.
So that's the part I'm going to get to. So obviously, I think there's somebody who's still holding on to the old beliefs, probably a fan. But no, it was a huge hit. There are ratings to prove it. This is not. Guys, this is the 2000s. I have records from shit. Like, you could look this up from like decades before. We have the numbers. This isn't like conflicted. It was a hit. It was a huge hit, and it was given
Definitely
to
also
ADV.
in Mexico.
Supposedly, this is the part where it gets a little more conjecture. This is only one little part. Supposedly, when they gave it to ADV, the contract was a little weird, where like they didn't have all the clauses that like you have to maintain the original stories. That's the part that's conjecture. But the part that isn't is the motherfucker who dubbed the thing and who wrote the dub. He still works for Sentai Filmworks, by the way, or like High Dive, whoever the fuck they are. He still works for them, by the way. He had a notorious thing that when he didn't like a show because it was like too Japanese. I know that's a stupid thing to say when you work in anime industry, but yeah, he didn't like shows that were too cultural. He would just make bullshit scripts. He did this with Geen Saga most recently. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. He did this with some other shows. Like he's notorious for this. And usually they go under the radar because they're smaller shows and they're not as crazy as Ghost Stories. But like apparently he wrote a wacky script for Ghost Stories. They went off the wall in the studio, and there you go, a legend was born. But people kept making up bullshit to like it's like I can't even think of another good example. It just the rest of it was just fans made it up. There was never any like the guy is an asshole and kind of low key. I think a low key a little racist and culturally insensitive. That he's like, this is too Japanese. I'm gonna like.
Based on that script, you wonder.
Oh, first of all, yeah, there are some racism in the script too. Like, you want to talk about that?
Wait, no. Let's stack it up. Racism, genuine, what's it called? Fat phobia, what's it called? Absolute, what's it called? Disdain for anybody that's, what's it called? Shoot, I'm trying to think of the terminology, but like,
I wonder if
you
he
are
wrote Saiyuki script. But yeah, anyways, go on.
no, it's okay. Special needs, if we'll go with that.
Oh yes.
What's it called? Cultural insensitivity also to other religions that were thrown in there just cause.
Well, the whole show is based around like
I think nothing bad against ACAB technically, but ACAB,
exactly.
I guess.
Well, because the main character, they make her like crazy, like, and that's actually the thing I was going to mention. There is a line that I like to quote because like the line was clearly about Bush, George Bush, W. Bush, the son, where there's like, don't worry, one day the president's going to stack the Supreme Court, and like talk about abortion, by the way, they're going to stack the Supreme Court, and we won't have to worry about that anymore. And that's exactly what happened.
In the future from like over like 20
I don't mean to
years
laugh at that, but yeah, it's just crazy. That's exactly what happened. A president stacked the Supreme Court, and they overturned Roe versus Wade. That's exactly what like they were joking about in the anime. That was going to happen back then. Wild. Talk about
Oh
that. People
man.
who think The Simpsons predict everything. That asshole dub guy, who I can't believe. See, that's another good example. You have people like that who still work in the industry, who like, who just like.
Listen, what happened with Cowboy Bebop was too good, and something needed to even the balance out in that situation. You see, Cowboy Bebop is an actual one where, at least when it came to how that show did, the ratings weren't good. But when it was given to a different team to work on in the
Sorry,
what's it called, US,
yeah.
like, and it's not like Cowboy Bebop was a disaster. It's not like people didn't know, because this is fucking Sunrise, But like, um it's still like the way that it did way better in the West, let alone that it's more episodic nature, as well as it's just overall Western feel, probably helped it to do a lot better. And it probably also helped that you had some talent in there, some new talent also that would later become to be like very, very notable in the industry, as well as some good music direction. Like, I mean, yeah, but it was so good that we had to balance that out, and there is this asshole in the industry. So there's that.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we
Uh,
have more of this
Did
BS
you
than
find
we'll
his
ever
name?
get more.
oh, no, I already had the guy's name.
Oh, what's the guy's
Stephen
name?
Foster
What's
and
his
Lucan
name?
Duran.
Okay, because like I wonder which one. But yeah, the mind you, I also want to reiterate, and I'll put it in the description somewhere. There was a YouTuber discovered all this. I didn't discover all this on my own. I actually did know about the ghost stories thing because
Mhm.
fuck, why did I accidentally did a thing on it because I think I was reviewing a movie, or it was included in a panel, like Josh said. I was talking about it in one of my horror panels, and I was doing my own research, and I came across that video about the
Mhm.
franchise. And then he had like a little thing about like, did you know that the story is fake? And that video is from such an underground YouTuber. No, it's not caught on, except I guess somebody updated the Wikipedia page, but like nobody has really corrected it yet. And you know what? I feel like that might be me who updated the Wikipedia page, because I'm not to say who wrote exactly what JD wrote, but I think I went there and started deleting things after I saw that video one night when I was drunk. Like, this is during the pandemic, and like I just went there and started deleting shit on Wikipedia. And
Well, I guess there are worse things you could do while you're drunk.
for the record, for all the people who say that Wikipedia is easy to like fuck, it's hard to to use because like people could like write whatever, they actually can't. If you did what I did, I always get marked for graffiti, or I forget what the word is, but like like as if I'm destroying the page.
Mhm.
If you replace so much text with not enough text, and like I don't know how they check it, they'll just revert it back into like a human looks at, which you just did.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
that's
so
not
any of the
actually
things you
true.
actually want to talk about?
Yeah, why is Keanu Reeves Shadow the Hedgehog?
Oh, because why not? He just look. Keanu
He
Reeves
looked.
can do shit. The problem here is that literally about 2 weeks ago, the guy who originally voiced Shadow in the OG Sonic Adventure 2 actually went to say that I'm working on something, and he didn't specify what, but he had a plushie of Shadow with him at the time. So a lot of people were just kind of like, "Oh, that would be cool," because genuinely that would be cool to hear Shadow in a not audio fucked version of Sonic Adventure 2. You know, Manuel, like, you've played Sonic Adventure 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio is fucked in Sonic Adventure 2. So, it would have been cool if, like, maybe he could have been in the movie, but there was a part of me that felt like, well, they're probably gonna add somebody to it. And when Keanu Reeves was rumored, he was rumored for 3 hours, 3 whole hours, and then it just became, "Oh, he's gonna be Shadow the Hedgehog."
I actually had to wait for like real sources to say it because, like you said, like just random people were saying it at random news sites, and I'm like, this isn't real. But no, I guess it's real, and he hasn't said it isn't. So like,
Yeah,
uh,
so, like, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
I'm
I'm
very
still
I'm very iffy on the Sonic franchise, the movie franchise. I mean, this obviously the franchise in general, but the movie franchises have been they're
I
good. They're
think
good. They're just
they're good, but I find the funniest thing that, like, one of the Parks and Rec guys is Sonic. Idris Elba is what's it called? Knuckles
oh
Knuckles.
the
yeah.
Echidna.
What uh
What's it called? Wait, I'll get to it. But like Shadow the Hedgehog will be Keanu Reeves, but then there's Tails, who is voiced by their well, I'm not gonna say OG, but current, their current voice. What's it called? Voice
Pauline
actor.
O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, and I just find that funny because it's like, hi. here with
I saw
you
there was a
know
tweet. There was a tweet I saw earlier. It was like Sydney Sweeney's gonna play Rouge the Bat, and I'm like, I think that was just more of a boob joke, but I'm like, I would actually like to see
Yeah.
that. Like, I could see her playing Rouge the Bat. She was very underutilized in that Spider-Man movie. I already forgot what the fuck it was called. Spider Woman.
Madam Web.
There you go. That's how memorable that movie was. But yeah, she was very underutilized in that movie, so I would love to see. And then the fan art will go crazy about Sydney Sweeney as Rouge the Bat. But Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves, I just like. How do I say this in a nice way? Actually, I'm not gonna say it in a nice way. I think Keanu Reeves is above this. It feels like that's a very Nicolas Cage thing to do, if you know what I mean. That's
okay, yeah, but
like
yeah, no,
that's not a
oh my god,
serious
you're
acting
making me
decision.
you're
He
making
should
me now
fire
wish
his
that it was
manager.
also Nicolas Cage that
It
was
should have been
voicing Shadow
Nicolas
the
Cage.
Hedgehog.
Honestly, that would be just as meme worthy. And no offense to Mr. Cage, but it would fit his career, at least his career
I mean,
trajectory as it is now. But fucking
haven't you
Keanu Reeves,
seen?
That's a mad step down. Like I said, I fire
No,
my
it's not a
agent.
step. It's not a step down. Have you seen Always Be My Maybe?
No.
Yeah, if you would have seen Always Be My Maybe, if you would have seen that, you would be like, oh, Keanu Reeves could totally do this. Yeah,
He
he's
plays.
not.
That's the one where he plays like himself, but it's a very like over the top comedic version of himself.
Yes.
Is Keanu Reeves emo enough to play Shadow? That's the real question.
Oh my Neo, freaking Neo! You're asking me if he's like emo enough to do that.
I don't know. Like then again, I also feel like I don't know if this is mildly ageist, but I think he's too old to play the role too. But then I guess it's voices, so like, but still.
Okay. Look, you know who also by that logic, then do you know who they also could have just gone with? Keanu Reeves is a really good option, but do you know who else they could have just gone with?
Who?
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin is a weird. They should just got Josh Brolin.
Like you're just saying you're trying to be ageist. He's too old. Like they say, okay, if they want a brooding like anti-hero type, they'd be like, I don't know if Thanos is a good role, and then they'd be like, you know, he was also Cable in Deadpool 2. Deadpool
Was he
2.
really?
Fudge.
Yes.
I can't talk. Yes. Josh Brolin. That's why there's a joke in Deadpool 2 at the very end when they're trying to negotiate, but you know, Cable's like, nah, I gotta kill this person so that way the future's protected. So then Ryan Reynolds is like, zip it, Thanos.
God damn it, Thanos. I only know Cable because I've been watching the X-Men '95 show and
97.
Whatever the fuck. I get the year wrong. I don't know. Manuel can't read, but yeah, and spoiler if you haven't seen it, but they do the whole thing where she gives birth. Wait, is Cable the son? Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Cable's the
Cable's the son.
So they give birth to Cable. I was
Jean
right.
Grey
And I make sure I get the names right. So yeah, she had just given birth to Cable, and then fuck is his name? Bishop has to take him back to the future, and yeah, there you go. And then we find out that Jean Grey all along has been like an imposter. Mr. Sinister. Spoiler, big spoiler by the way. But yeah, it turns out that she's what the fuck is her name? But
Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, they don't even explain. Did you know? And I don't. I actually remember hearing about that like offhand when I was really young, but I was looking more into the comics, like just the Wikipedia pages after I watched the show when I was like drunk at fucking WonderCon. Did you know that they only retconned that being Jean Grey later? Like apparently that was just a girl that looked like Jean Grey. Like it was never meant to be her. Like the original writer when they introduced her, that was just meant to be like Scott's like rebound girl that just looked like her. Like he has issues. And they retconned it later that like, oh yeah, it's Jean, and oh yeah, Mr. Sinister made her. And because there was a quote somewhere on the Wikipedia page where like I think he was kind of upset that they basically destroyed her character just to bring Jean Grey back. I'm just like, part of me's all like, that's great and all, but does Gambit have to get like, you know, does Gambit have to watch Rogue fuck Magneto all the time? That's all. That just feels wrong.
That's a bit, yeah. Like Cajun be raging, but for different regions.
There's such an age gap between. I guess it doesn't matter. They're both adults, but I just feel so weird. Especially, does Scarlet Witch exist in the X-Men 97 world? He has a daughter that's her age.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And Quicksilver.
Yeah, you should. He has children her age. Like, stop fucking Rogue. Stop. I'm calling the police.
I'm trying to think if they're actually still his children in comic continuity right now.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know if they're even like. I know I know they're both in the show. I don't know if they're related to Magneto in the cartoon. I don't know one way or the other. It's been so long.
They did say they were related in the 2000 version when they did another go at it.
But yeah, that is kind of like I think in the MCU they're not, because we don't have X-Men until now. So
no, they're not. They're not there.
But they showed the parent, and it's not fucking whatever the fuck Magneto's
Actually,
real name
to be fair, wait. In the continuity that they have us follow in the MCU, no, but because of the one from the what's it called, Multiverse of Madness, it could be quite possible that version of Wanda, that version of Wanda might be what's it called, Magneto's daughter,
Magneto's kid
in that version.
Oh,
and no, Manuel. It seems that Scarlet Witch never appeared in the original X-Men cartoon.
Oh, I feel like she did, but then again, like it's been.
She was in X-Men Evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm probably confusing it with one, and I definitely saw more Evolution, because Evolution also had a video game that I remember playing a lot.
Oh, sorry, Manuel.
What?
One episode.
Oh, well, I'm sure she wasn't the daughter then, but yeah, it's still the fucker's old enough to be your father, and like stop fucking each other, please. And honestly, I guess it makes sense, because like Rogue can't like touch anyone, and they're able to because of magnetic bullshit or whatever. But it seems very random. It seems like literally it's like, oh, I can fuck you, so I will. Okay, Grandpa, let's go. And then fucking Morph always, dude, I don't know. I just feel like I hate to use the word, but like, you know, you see my boy Gambit get cucked like that, just like it just hits. It just hits the wrong.
Maybe we're just trying to say something more specific about how people that might have been a part of a persecution like the Holocaust later grow up to potentially be monsters.
Oh my god!
Saying
now we're getting
now
we're getting controversial.
There could be someone who's very making free Palestine choices and slipping them underneath.
Okay, Manuel, to get back to one of your points,
yes,
he does reveal that he is the father of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in that episode.
Oh, in the old one that he appeared in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, he does technically have kids Rogue's age.
That's weird. I remember when I was really young that they showed the Phoenix Saga. I don't know if you guys are this old, but they showed the Phoenix Saga of the original X-Men show during primetime on Fox. Like, that's wild that they would do that. Like, you know, they also showed Goosebumps primetime. Like when they showed the Haunted Mask, that was a primetime. Remember when kids shows were worthy to be primetime material?
Oh, Haunted Mask, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, not the whole show. They only showed the Haunted Mask because it was like the debut. But the Haunted Mask, and they showed the Phoenix Saga, which I think it was 3 episodes. They edited into a movie or some bullshit. They showed that, like, or something like that.
Why do you think they kept going? They were trying to go back to that both with Last Stand and then also the when they were trying to do it again after they were making the second run of X-Men movies. A lot of people really liked, watching that at the time.
Oh, you know what? Thank you for reminding me. Did you guys? And this is really random. It literally just popped in my head.
Also, Manuel.
Yes.
Quick correction. Phoenix Saga is 5 parts.
Oh well. Did they show all of them at that? I feel like they didn't show all of them, but I remember they showed at least like 2 or 3 like that first night. It might have been a multi-night event. I don't know, but I do remember watching it and recording it. Like, who knows where that tape went? I probably threw it away recently. But
add that to the list of media lost because of Manuel, but not really.
Do you remember when Marvel? Do you remember when Fox used to have those low-budget Marvel movies? I feel like those have all been forgotten. Like, yeah. What the hell's his name? The Knight Rider guy. What?
Ghost Rider?
No, Ghost Rider? No, Knight Rider. The guy from the show Knight Rider. David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
He was Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And then they also did an X Factor movie. I don't remember who the fuck it was. An X-Men.
I think it was a pilot episode.
But it was something.
Pride of the X-Men.
Yeah, it was a live action X show. It wasn't X-Men. It was like X Factor or some bullshit. It was a live action that I remember Emma Frost was there. She was like the leader of this team of people.
And there was the guy who like was Freddy Krueger, but like not Freddy Krueger.
Wait, which one?
Oh, there was a guy who was like slipping
Robert
into like
Englund?
different mutants'
Oh,
weapon.
no, you're right. You're right. Never mind. The character. Yeah, I forgot. What the fuck is? I'm trying to remember these things. This is like a memory that only came to me right now. I just remember David Hasselhoff being Nick Fury because I actually liked Nick Fury. I know that was like propaganda when I was younger or something, but I remember buying a lot of his comic books, and I think just because he had a slight resemblance to like an NES type character, like somebody from like POW or like Contra. But like I remember reading a lot of his shit. Like, oh, there's a Nick Fury movie, and fucking David Hasselhoff is playing Nick Fury, which depending
Oh wait,
on
hold up. Do you know he might come back?
David Hasselhoff.
Do you know why? Well, I know that he's already showed up technically in Guardians, but like,
Wait,
uh,
why was he in
have you
Guardians?
seen?
Wasn't Nick-
Okay. To explain this to Manuel, in the climax of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Ego goes through like a shape-shifting phase, and he turns into David Hasselhoff because Star-Lord says that he always imagined David Hasselhoff as his father. So to like try and make an emotional plea, not to kill him, he's just like takes on the form of David Hasselhoff.
Oh, I thought. Did he say I want Nick Fury to be my father, and he turns into David Hasselhoff and not what's his name? Not motherfucking
Samuel
Snake
L.
guy.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Whoever
but like the Deadpool 3, when looking at the synopsis for the Deadpool 3 movie, which I totally believe Deadpool 3 is going to have the introduction to Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom will be the main antagonist, is what I'm thinking for that one. But and I'm just going off of a chair. There's like a chair that's visible for like a few moments, but in the synopsis for it, it says that Deadpool teams up with an uncanny group of people to and I think that's just a pun. I don't think he's going to necessarily have uncanny X-Men, but like he says he teams up with an uncanny group of heroes to combat a multiverse threat. And one of them we already know is what's it called? I'm trying to remember his name. Who plays Wolverine
Kang.
again?
Oh, Hugh Jackman. Sorry.
Hugh Jackman. Okay, so it's Hugh
Sorry, I didn't
Jackman.
know you meant the heroes of the threat.
It's Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Okay, so we already knew that was coming because that's just how it got out. Like even Ryan Reynolds got upset about like how they got like an early leak kind of. But it's kind of speculated that the other heroes may be what's it called? Like different actors who once played other heroes before.
It's Nick Fury, David Hasselhoff, and it's fucking. I don't know who played Emma Frost, but she was probably famous too.
Oh, sorry. You mean in the X-Men thing you were talking about, not in First Class?
Yeah.
And wasn't Rogue in the first X-Men movie? I forgot who the fuck played her. And
Anna Paquin.
Yeah, it's someone famous though. It's like somebody like in a young girl who's really famous now. And I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Because there was another joke that like Ben Affleck could come back as Daredevil.
Oh, I forgot. Those were even movies. Have those been like those been incorporated in the MCU? Remember Elektra?
No,
I know that
I think Jennifer Garner's already said she's back for this one.
Well, Deadpool has a series that is slightly more incorporated, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah, man, Marvel was wilding back in the day.
Hey, we might still even get, because they haven't really revealed a new character for this, and we can also ignore the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we might get Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god. I mean,
well,
I'm
no. Actually, Nicolas Cage would be good, okay?
That's
because
who?
as we all
Ghost Rider.
Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider coming back would be
stupid.
good because Doctor Doom would only do multiverse things for two reasons. He's either gonna just stereotypical I'm Dr. Van Doom, I'm gonna like rule the entire multiverse because I'm Doom, and that happened in the comics for like a moment. But like it could also be that he might be trying to gather power to go get his mom back from Malfesto. And so one of the people that, could just be on Deadpool's team could also just be Ghost Rider, because Mephisto would be kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of here to help stop him ruining the multiverse. Actually, no, I'm here because I'm supposed to keep him from getting to Mephisto.
I know Doom has done other stuff, but Doom to me always seemed like he was a Fantastic Four villain, and I feel that's weird without the Fantastic Four. I know that it's like they're working on a Fantastic Four at some point, but but I feel like that is Pedro. Was that just a joke? Was Pedro Pascal playing?
No, he has been officially cast as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
And Joseph Quinn, Eddie from Stranger Things season 4 is Johnny.
The fuck?
Yeah.
He seems a little old for
he
the
was
role.
really good.
I do like him as Eddie. He seems a little old. Have you seen the way he looks when he's not as Eddie though? I always thought I'm like, oh
Yeah,
have
he
you
looked
seen
great
Pedro
as
Pascal?
him.
He's a bit older.
He would look great as him.
Pedro Pascal's like an adult. Like that sounds weird to say, but you know what I mean. Johnny Cage is like
Johnny Storm. No.
Johnny Cage. Yes, Johnny Cage. You know, like ball punching Johnny Cage. Yeah, Johnny Storm. He's he's a bit he's like a young person. He's not a teenager. I think he was meant to be a teenager in the original, but he's 20. You know, guessing. But I don't know. I guess. But
it's the closest we'll have. He had the Hellfire Club in what's it called in Stranger Things, and the first thing I was thinking was like X-Men. That's so
that
cool.
is pretty good. He's like Flame On, and it's like he can also play Master of Puppets when he's fighting Doom. I don't know. I just remember I was really into the Fantastic Four when I was younger. Like they were like my favorite comic book. I think I mentioned before. I used to have like all these omnibuses, and I used to buy every Fantastic Four comic I could, usually from bins for like 50 cents or $1. And I had to throw them all away recently because I just did not have space for them. But I kept some of the ones I remembered from like when I was younger, like literally just because of space. And I knew that they were dirt cheap, so I just tossed them all. But I remember and it was one of the ones I kept. I remember when I bought, like, I think it was issue 400, when who the fuck? I think Reed Richards died, and I think he's died like 5 times. But like one of the times he died, they replaced him with Dr. Doom's son, and like they were the Fantastic Four for a minute. And I'm like, who the fuck was his son? And why did his son also have to wear the Doom armor? Like that just feels extra. Like I know you're his son, but surely you're not like, because I mean, I think they've retconned Dune's like, I keep calling him Doom, Dr. Doom's story, but like,
yeah,
he was like scarred because of something, and when they first show him,
yeah,
huh?
Yes, yeah, they changed it around a couple times, but scarred. He got a scar on his face. He puts on the mask.
Yeah.
Some argue that he's just so vain. He got like a tiny scar and was terrible, or just completely hated the imperfection on his face. Put up the mask on, was too hot, and that caused the rest of the scars.
Oh, that would be wild if that was the actual thing. Actually, I think I do remember hearing about unlocking some memories of like some things I've read. But they even back when I was reading it, they'd already retconned it a couple times. But Doom's son is like, what was wrong with you? Like, why'd you put on the armor? And yes, he looked like a thinner version of Doctor Doom. Like, not that Doctor Doom was like thick or anything, but like you could tell he was just like a young Doom, because he was like, I keep saying Dune, a young Doom. But anyway.
He was a young Paul. Whatever his name was.
Paul Atreides. Yes, he was a young Paul.
Paul Atreides.
Okay.
Actually, he looked a lot like him too, because I think they did show him. Because once again, I want to read. I should have said that first. They showed him without armor. Like he's not like, it's not like he has the same scar story. He just like puts on Doom's armor, and I'm like, I don't think it's Doom's armor. He just puts on like his own shit. I think it's called.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name?
His name is Christophe Bernard.
Yeah, so he has another like Castlevania style name. Yes, I call it Christopher Castlevania name.
Yeah, and looking at a picture of him in armor, I'll put this up in the edit. Yeah, he wears the same kind of like green and silver armor with the metal plating.
He does look thin,
but he doesn't have the mask.
See, okay. At the very least, he put like in the comic, he wasn't wearing it. Like, because I said the whole comic, they just showed him walking around. But at the end of it, when he's like, "I'm joining the Fantastic Four," and they reveal the new Fantastic Four, they did fighting some threat, whatever the fuck threat was going around the early 2000s, late 90s, and like he puts on the mask at the end of the comic to run with them, and I'm like, okay, you do not need to wear Doom shit. Like, your daddy's evil, stop. Or maybe he's pretending.
Also, he's only Dr. Doom's he's a Dr. Doom's son, but he's adopted.
Oh, I didn't know that. I probably did at the time, but I forgot about that. Okay. Does whatever thing you're looking at mention he was briefly the 4th member of the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
Well,
he has been involved mainly with the Fantastic Four as an enemy, ally, and even short-term member.
Yes. Because then it turned out Reed Richards was alive. Spoiler alert! Of course he was. But yeah,
Also, he's apparently Reed Richards' half brother.
the fuck?
Comics are weird.
You're
Comics
telling me.
are weird.
Anyway, I don't know. What really pissed me off, and I will move from this topic, I guess, after this, really pissed me off is I went more in depth into the Rogue and like Gambit, Magneto, love triangle kinda. And I was like, and because comics are so weird and so like multiversal and like different authors will tell their own little like not one note, was sort of like for one shot.
One off?
Yeah, one off like little storylines. Rogue has married Gambit and Magneto and has had kids with each of them. And what upsets me is that exists, and what also questions me, like, how the fuck did she fuck Gambit? I'm sure it was some comic nonsense where like
because he can accelerate particles to a particular touch.
He just like comes and like shoots it into her. We're getting too in the weeds here. I mean, it's not like artificial insemination exists. No, he has to like electromagnify his sperm and shoot it across the room. Okay, why did I say any of that? Anyway, when I was a kid, though, I really loved Gambit. I think he was a very '90s hero, like, you know, because he had cards and he has a very '90s look, and like, you know, yeah, he was cool.
He was also a great addition to Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, he's great in all and everything he's in. I remember like there was a couple X-Men games for the Sega Genesis that were good. I think it was called like X-Men. I forgot what the first one's called, but X-Men 2 is the Clone Wars, and not to be confused with Star Wars, but it's still the Clone Wars. And those are both good games. I'm sure somebody in the internet says they suck, but I fucking loved them. And Gambit was definitely in the second one. I don't think he was in the first. But yeah. Anyway, we were going to talk about Fallout a long time ago, and we never did. Somehow we started talking about X-Men, and that was never on the docket at all.
I mean, it was at least suggested. So do we want to talk about Fallout?
I haven't had a chance to see it, but I'm excited for it. Like, I don't know. Part of me feels like prestige TV is like, it's overblown. Overblown. What's the word I'm looking for? There's too many of them. And they feel like too much of a commitment. Like when there was old sitcom-y type things on, you could watch some and move on with your life. But when it's like something like, you know, Stranger Things or like fucking WandaVision or the Lord of the Rings one I'm forgetting the title of. You know what I'm
Rings of Power.
Yeah, Rings of Power, Game of Thrones, and now this. It just feels like you have to watch the whole thing. You have to pay attention to it all. And it's going to take like, you know, an entire weekend. And by the way, each network has like 5 of them coming out this month. And they don't have to, but just like, it just feels like being involved with like the modern media zeitgeist is too much work these days. That's my takeaway.
I can definitely understand that.
I think
there is so much coming out.
Yeah, you could people have different trees that they build based on what they watch. So there is so much, but people will just still watch because they clearly can't see it all. And then eventually you intersect with that because, I mean, I haven't really played Fallout, so I haven't even seen Fallout, but there are so many people that are just like on my feeds and different things. They're like, this Fallout show is amazing, one of the best video game adaptations. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to take their word for it, but I have not seen the show. And at the same time, haven't played the games. But I mean, that's good at least. I mean, The Witcher was also really hype back when that came out too.
Yeah, The Witcher's been on my radar forever because I like The Witcher. I like the games. I think it was Witcher 3 is the one I played. Is that the most recent one? I know it's been like 10 years, but yeah. But that was the one I played the most, and I was like, oh, look, I want to watch it, but I just haven't had time. Wheel of Time, I watched the first season, and that was it. What are you going to say?
I'd say, you know, The Witcher, the series, is based on the books, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't even know there were books until I remember, like, I think people complained about the show. And I didn't know it was based on it. I just thought they were just complaining because, like, whatever the show did was neither the books or the games. And I was all like, supposedly, I'm not saying any of that's correct. Because, you know, people just complain because of whatever. But I'm sure that they put, like, a black woman in it and everyone got upset. And I'm just guessing because that's usually what they get upset by.
Yeah.
Oh, is that exactly what I hit the nail on the head?
I mean, that's one thing. There were reports that, like, the writer's room didn't like the books, thought they could do better or something. I don't remember. I was paying attention. I just kind of let it blow past me.
All I know is that Henry Cavill did, and apparently he was upset that did they fire him? Isn't there someone else playing the
No,
role?
yes. Was it Liam Hemsworth or one of the Hemsworth brothers? That's not Chris. Is taking over the role in season 4.
Oh, it's not out yet.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll probably be the last season. I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw it out there. If it hasn't been confirmed, I'm sure that's gonna be the last season.
Mhm.
Isn't that Netflix? I feel like Netflix. Why did
Yes.
Netflix bother? Netflix seems to give up on anything after 2 seasons.
I think it was successful enough for at least
seasons.
Oh, Stranger Things. Stranger Things pisses me off. I'm so fucking pissed that it's taking so long to film it. Like, why does it okay, the first 2 seasons came out almost back to back. Why did everything else take 2+ years to finish? And I know the pandemic was there. Fuck it, that was one time. The gap from the last season does not have to be over 2 years. Like, everyone is like in their 20s now. Still, and that's the thing. The timeline of the show, I think, is like a year and a half so far. So we're supposed to be talking like 9th graders, like, just getting into high school, and everyone's like fucking 30. It's like, stop. You guys took too long. You guys took 10 years. Like, Millie Bobby Brown got married the other day. Not the other day, but
I don't think they're married yet.
Oh, but
they're
she got engaged to like John Bon Jovi's son. I said that a couple podcasts ago for some reason.
Yes, and I had to look it up to make sure that they weren't married.
Oh, okay, they're not married. So yeah, and she's like 20. It's like, come on, guys. And I think it was funny because I think she did an interview where she was confused that 11 wasn't also like aging with her. Which, good characterization, guys, that she doesn't know that. But she like, somebody had to tell her that 11's still like 14 in the show. She's like, what? They need to hurry. And I'm like, you're on the show. Tell them.
Okay, so Fallout.
Oh yeah, what's your early review, JD?
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. I'm really liking it so far. I really like that they have used a lot of the period music. Some of the songs are straight, or are the ones that were also used in the games. Like, they use "Crawl Out Through the Fallout," which I didn't realize wasn't a song, or was a song not made for the game. I thought it was made for the game because it just seems like so on the nose, but it is an actual novelty song from like the 50s or the 60s.
Did they do that? What's that song that? Hold on, I'm trying to find it now. Sorry, I can't remember. Oh yeah, wait, are you talking about the song that they play at the intro of the first Fallout game?
No, "Crawl Out Through the Fallout." I don't know if it's in any other games, but I know it's in Fallout 4, and it's a great song. I just didn't realize it wasn't original to the game because it, like I said, it's a bit too on the nose about like the love of the atomic bomb and like that. So I thought they just had hired someone to write an old timey song.
No, all the old timey songs are real. The one from the first game, I just looked it up. It's called "Maybe" by the Ink Spots.
Yeah, and they also used "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire" for the intro to Fallout 3, which is also in the TV show.
Okay, yeah. In case Josh doesn't know, like they play like old timey songs, and they're always like, "Oh look," and it's like they make it look all 1950s, but like everything's destroyed, and it's like, look. What you say?
So I'm guessing.
I would say it's a pastiche, or not a parody, a full satire of like the 50s ideology, the whole anti-communism, very nationalist, same kind of stuff. So they'll use old-timey music, generally from like the 60s, the 50s. I think they moved up technically to either the late 60s or the early 70s with 76, using "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
Because the game is set in West Virginia.
Okay, I had to look it up because I knew it was a Louis Armstrong song, but it wasn't. It wasn't "A Wonderful World." They used "A Kiss to Build a Dream On." That's what they used in part 2. That was the song I was trying to remember the most of. Did they put that in? "A Kiss to Build a Dream On." Blah, blah,
I haven't heard Louis Armstrong yet, but I still have 6 episodes to go. So
you'll know Louis Armstrong. He's like
yeah, I would clearly recognize Louis Armstrong's voice.
He has a voice on that motherfucker. Yeah, we should all watch Fallout together and Josh, go with us to Vegas next week and we'll all watch Fallout together.
Fallout New Vegas?
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that when I said that.
I've actually done that before when driving out to Vegas. Just like stop at the various places I recognize, because a lot of it is like based on what is currently there. Like McCarran, is it McLaren Airport? McCarran?
Yeah.
Is now a fort for the NCR. Nipton is like a place where a tragedy occurs. That's one of the inciting events of New Vegas. Like there's a place with a giant dinosaur.
I should I should take I should do some social media posts when I'm there this trip. I think I forgot all about that. I forgot that was New Vegas because New Vegas isn't numbered, so it kind of gets forgotten.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's favorite. I actually even like that one. Before we started, I was talking shit about how I didn't like the Fallout series because it went first-person shooter-ish style. And what I should have said, and we weren't live, so it doesn't matter. But what I should have said when I was saying that, I didn't like Fallout 3. I remember playing that, being really excited when it came out for the. I played on the PS3, but like most people probably played on PC, but I played it on PS3. I was really excited, and then New Vegas came out, and I remember I didn't buy it right away, but I bought like the Game of the Year edition that came out like the next year or whatever, like all the DLC
As
or
they do.
whatever. Yeah, and I played that one, and I was like, God damn, this game is good. And I also assume because it's Bethesda, they already fixed all the million bugs of like your character floating off into nothing, or like the horse's head freaking out or some bullshit.
I mean, I think New Vegas is still buggy as all
Was it really?
get up. I mean, there are definitely fan made patches, and I mean, a tech that was developed by Obsidian, using Bethesda's tech.
Oh, Obsidian! Didn't they do one of the actual old school Fallout games, the real ones?
Some of their team members were part of the Black Isle team. Yes.
Yeah, so I say like I remember like cause it was Black Isle. Yeah. Okay, because the first one was obviously BioWare, right? Am I making that up?
No, it was Black Isle Interplay.
Was the second?
I believe
one?
so.
Oh shit. Okay. Well.
Yes.
Okay. BioWare wasn't involved. BioWare didn't put their grubby hands on.
BioWare is Baldur's Gate.
Neverwinter
KOTOR.
Night.
I don't remember if they were Neverwinter Nights.
I'm probably just getting everything wrong. It's fine. I do remember KOTOR though, and Jade Empire for sure. Yeah, let's all play Fallout. Let's all watch Fallout. I still have to watch it.
Yeah.
Why were you not attracted to the franchise, Josh? It's one of the big gaming franchises in the world.
Well, especially after 3.
Well, I mean, I was more interested in like fighting games, and then I didn't really have the opportunity to just like my parents bought me like more video games when I was like much younger, but as I was getting older, it became a thing where it's like, oh, I have to put more of an effort. So like I would buy my own video games and everything. So there just wasn't as much time to like get to things. And then when it came to like the PlayStation 3, or the Xbox 360, I didn't really have a PS3 until like 2010 or 2011. So like at that point, I was getting ready for like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and actually, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Chrono Phantasma. Well, not Chrono Phantasma yet, but
yeah,
Blaze Blue, and I ended up buying like several different versions again of Resident Evil 4. So I was like, yeah, I'm going at it again, and I'm trying to think. I actually have so many games. Actually, now
I love Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I remember like that was the first game I ever bought that had on disc DLC. And I remember like that was the first time I got really. They had Shuma Garoth and Jill Valentine. I don't know if it was Jill. Yeah, it was Jill. And like it had them as characters that were on the disc, but they were unlocked like that Friday. They were unlocked like like later on, or like maybe it was at launch. I don't know. But I remember like the version I had came with the code, but that was very wonky. Like, you mean it's on the disc and you have to pay
and you have
to play?
Yeah, but they said they had some things that were like not finished that they were going to make downloadable, but then it just did feel a little weird that it's just kind of like, I'm paying, but just to actually unlock them, because after a certain point, they're just there. They didn't even make them part of the official roster in Ultimate. You still needed to have a download code.
I was going to say,
even
when they made Ultimate added like 16 people, and they still didn't put fucking what's their face? I just said their names, Jill and other fucker.
And Jill in the official roster.
It's funny because Schumacher Roth's the perfect example of a know nothing Marvel character that fucking Capcom pulled out of obscurity. Like everyone talks about that. It's like, who the fuck was Schumacher Roth? Like fucking Marvel Cthulhu. And I think that characters become a little more involved in shit after especially after 3 came out. But no, I was telling JD earlier, my story getting into Fallout games, and it was the both games. I looked at the disc I had. I remember like me and my friend, I should say my friend, it was like 2 people, me and my friends at the time. We used to do this thing where we would walk to to the Super Kmart, and it was a long walk. I'm talking like several mile walk, like an hour walk. And we were kids, so pretty nice brisk pace. We'd fuck around the whole way there. And we'd walk along the train tracks like delinquents. We'd cross through like this yard, like the industrial area. Then we'd go to the Super Kmart that was 24 hours. And we'd like buy snacks and buy video games. And we weren't stealing. This is actually legit stuff. We were fucking around the store. I remember we used to play with the lobsters because that store had lobsters for some reason. And like I feel like I don't think supermarkets sell lobsters anymore. But like it just had like a lobster pin where you could grab them and we would just play with them, like, you know, pick them up, like being assholes. But I remember one day we went and like they had closed off the video game section. Like it was just like they had put like a display so you couldn't walk into it. It was always kind of gated off. And we're like, no, we came here to get a game, like something cheap. We're gonna buy like a bargain bin PS1 game, PS2 game. Well, no, PS2 wasn't out. It was PS1 game for sure. We're gonna buy some bargain bin game. We're like, fuck. And because the Kmart used to have like these bargain bin games at the bottom of the actual lock cases, but there was nobody there to unlock it. So we went to the PC games and we're like, what do they have? They had a bunch of stupid kids adventure games. Like I'm pretty sure they had like Freddy Fish and shit like that I love now, but at the time I was like, fuck that. And but they had Fallout 1 and 2, and it was like $10 for both of them together. And I bought them and we played the first one a hell of a lot that night into the next couple days. And it's a great game. It definitely has aged. It's like an old school RPG, like a point and clicky type one almost. Was not first person shooter. It was but it was cool. I was so surprised when they revived the games though, because like those two games, when I bought them, and they hadn't been out for a while. I think we determined that the first one was 97. I assumed the second one was 98, 99, because this is probably 2000 when I bought that double disc set. And 3 didn't come out until like what, 2006?
2008, I think.
Yeah, even later, because I think 2006 when the PS3 came out, and it came out on the PS3, like not later. So yeah, it's like, so that was a weird franchise to bring back. It's like that. You mean that random game from 10 years ago that like they were selling for $10 for both at the Super Kmart? Like that's a franchise that's worth reviving, and apparently it was. I don't know.
Hey, it was a really good game.
Well, I loved it. I'm not saying it was a bad game.
I'm specifically talking about 3 in this case, though.
Oh, I didn't like 3. I thought everyone hates 3. I thought everyone loves New Vegas. Isn't that the rhetoric?
You can do both, Manuel. I also like 4, so...
Is there a
maybe
5?
I'm just, No, not yet.
Okay.
It's in the works, but it'll be after Elder Scrolls 6, so that's at least another 5 years off.
15 years? Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this in Fallout 5 in like 2020 or 2034.
Exactly. Like if we're still alive and doing this, like if nuclear winter hasn't taken us over by then. God damn. But no, just go and play Fallout 76 instead. Everyone loves that game. That's the game.
It's gotten better from what I've heard.
Like I said this before, like even though everyone complains about microtransactions, everyone still went and played the game and still bought shit. I'm sure Josh over there still spends his money on his Genshin gacha shit.
I actually don't right now. I've been playing some Genshin, but I haven't played Genshin in over a month. Oh damn! But like, no, I haven't even been playing for the battle pass right now. I'm just trying to get through like Persona 3, but yeah.
Okay, Manuel.
What?
I'm just gonna ask to cut it off before we get to any more of your holier than thou stuff.
Okay, I was gonna. And besides, I've had this argument like 2 or 3 times already, so I don't want to bring it up again. But yeah, I'm better than everyone because I don't spend money on microtransactions. I'm kidding. That's always my go-to.
He spends it all on alcohol. He has a problem.
I was gonna say, like, and by the way, that's actually a very funny thing because I talked about this with JD, and JD said he hasn't either. If you have never in your life spent money on and I guess microtransactions is different because like I have spent money like on DLC. But if you've never spent money on a loot box or a gacha item or something in a free-to-play game, let me know because I feel like we're in the minority. And by we, I mean apparently me and JD. Because I have
I still technically paid for...
Yeah.
I did pay for a Genshin loot box once, or the
exactly.
wishes
like
so
I said,
that I can
everyone I know has done it at least a handful of times. And I mean everyone. Like I have my great aunt who is like 70 or whatever. Like she has like some farming sim like bullshit that she plays, and she'll spend random money on there sometimes. And I guess that's fine if you're getting something out of it. I'm not saying see, that's my whole gripe. And I like how I went into it anyway, JD. Sorry. My whole gripe is that like you're fine with it until you're not. And that's what I find weird. It's like if you like the game and the genre, then it's fine with you. But if it's something you think shouldn't have that kind of predatory bullshit in there, suddenly it's bad. But I don't know. I don't think it belongs
Can I show you a mirror so you can do some self-reflection?
I don't think it,
because I feel like you should also be following this advice on other things.
I don't think it belongs to the industry, but I also feel that like I don't see what the problem is because everyone seems to agree with it. Stop buying the shit if you don't want it to be there.
Okay, Manuel.
Anyway, wrap it up there. That's what else is there? Anything else that we didn't talk? I think we talked about everything somehow, except for the cool stuff we didn't, like zombie ass.
Do you want? We have another 5 minutes. You can give the description again, Manuel.
Yeah. What about Fanime? That's coming up in like a month and some.
Yeah.
Don't get him on it, please.
Actually, yeah, Fanime.
You know, I'd rather you talk about Japanese softcore horror movies.
No, actually, I will talk about a different one. Like I was saying earlier, I actually didn't finish the story. There's this movie that was meant to be an American take on that Japanese style of softcore horror movies, specifically like Lust for the Dead. I can't remember the name. Oh, Zombie Acid had come out. I think it just come out the year before at that point, and the movie was called Zomboobies, and I think it was like a Japanese American director, and it was like a mostly Asian cast, but it was a local production, like somewhere in Southern California. And I remember going to this theater in somewhere in the Hollywood Hills. I forgot what the fuck the theater was called. It was a place, like I said, where I saw Reanimator the musical, and they had stickers for it, like and they stickers and flyers. But I still have a bunch of the stickers. I thought it was so cool. It was like zombie boobs, and like I have one of them on one of my older laptops, and I was so excited. I grabbed a bunch of the stickers. And I looked at the movie. It had a trailer, but apparently it was one of those trailers you shoot when you want to like get investors. And they never actually filmed the movie. So it has an IMDb page. It has a trailer still on YouTube, as far as I know. I didn't check before this, but if the IMDb page is still there, I'm sure the trailer still is. And I have a small stack of stickers still.
Would you say it's stacked?
Yes, and do I still have the thing open? Oh, I don't have the thing open. I'm going to open it up real fast because I'm never going to talk about this again. Hold on. So the IMDb page describes the movie like this: while conducting experiments to create the perfect boobs, a group of doctors are transformed into evil mutant creatures with an unstoppable hunger for boobs. And I say boobs like that because the boobs is in all caps letters for some reason. But yeah, apparently Francois Fujimoto was the director. I only assume that and Marisa Tayui and Diana Toshiko and Kathy Shim are I think all star in it. And the trailer exists, but the movie doesn't. And fun fact, every so often I used to look up to see if this movie ever got made, and then I finally gave up, like in 2016, when I'm like, okay, it's never happening. But yeah, that's my Zomboobies story. Anyways, JD, look up all the trailers and shit, and like look up that boob image I mentioned. It's just zombie boobs. It's like a zombie face, and in his mouth are just boobs. But like it's a drawing. It's not real shit. Anyway, I gotta wrap it up there. Sorry, we had 3 false starts. I blame Josh.
It was my fault. Yeah, I take complete blame for that. I forgot to reroute the audio properly. I can't blame the video on me. I don't know what's happening with that.
Yeah, that is Josh. Josh is dubbed tonight. since we randomly decided to talk about dubs for like 30 minutes, he figured, wouldn't it be fun if I recorded this last week and just dubbed it now?
I'm not here. I'm AI.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like one of those obviously fake ads where like a celebrity is selling like, hey, we have too many of these things because of a lawsuit. Send us $100 and we'll send you one for free. You know what I'm talking about, like that. Those kind of really, it's like somebody famous, and you know the old people in the comments who are like, okay, yeah, I signed up, can't wait to get it. I'm like, bro, you just lost your money, and they probably stole your credit card info. Anyway, Get off the internet,
Yeah,
everyone.
at least I look better than those picture videos that one girl makes, where everything is very disjointed, even if it's technically being properly dubbed. But yeah,
I saw the recent fucking Super Eyepatch Wolf video about like video games don't exist, and they reminded me
yeah,
of that one creator, Molly. What the fuck is her name? The one who did like the horror shit. It was like, I can't like I'm let's go home. I'm hungry, and then she eats you
yeah.
or
That
whatever. Yeah, and it reminded me that she has a very active OnlyFans these days, where like she does like and but my point is, I actually forgot that because I went to go Google her to go look up her videos, like those videos, to go look up the actual creepy videos. 'Cause I remember watching those back on TikTok. I'm like, those are crazy. I wanted to
yeah.
watch them again, but if you do that now, you're gonna find all of her, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing. What is her
Does
name?
she also do it like frame by frame instead
Oh,
of
it's
like?
Molly Moon, by the way. But Molly Moon, but like she does she doesn't do it like in that style, but it is kind of creepy too. You should watch. I mean, it's worth honestly her
I
OnlyFans
think
content is worth
I'm already
watching.
mentally scarred
Uh,
from like the last time we talked and saw shit about her. So
Yeah, I will
I
point
will
it out.
not.
Yeah, I will point it out that everyone who wants to support her, do it on her OnlyFans, which I believe is still active. Give her, throw some bucks her way to watch the creepy sex videos.
okay, Manuel, let's actually wrap up.
Hey, don't you want to watch Molly Moon video? Do you know what I'm talking about, by the
I
way?
have
No,
no idea who she is.
no,
Okay,
no.
look up her non videos. They're wild. Where it's
Okay,
like Daddy's gonna be angry
How does
with you, and she dun dun dun
how
dun,
does
and it's like knocking on the door, and it's a big bug.
how does JD not know? He hangs out with you. I could have sworn,
I was
literally
showing
at
those
one
to
point where
everyone. Yes, it got
okay. I said this last week when we were talking about wrestling. Do you think I pay attention to anything
yeah.
Manuel says in the
No,
room?
it got to the point when I was downloading these videos myself, like I was like screen recording them off of TikTok so I could just send it to people because I knew people don't like to click links. So I would download the video, so it was just the embedded video, and I would send everyone the video so they could just
how
hit
does
play.
she? My question is, how does she make her eyes do that?
I don't know,
how
just her
does
eyes. She just has big eyes. I mean, she has round eyes in general, but I think she opens them wide. But yeah, she just has big eyes. Some people just are born with big eyes.
just
So
do the
Okay,
do the
Manuel, are we
haunted
actually going to
things
wrap
happen
up or
when she
not?
makes-
okay, we'll wrap it up there. So we'll talk about Molly. We'll get Molly Moon on the podcast. I don't know her, but yeah. Anyways, see you next week. Thank you for watching. Actually, we won't see you next week. We're off next week. I'll be in Vegas, but I'll see you. We might do next week. I don't know. JD, are we doing next week? You didn't tell me.
I think we'll probably do it next week. I'll figure out something.
Okay, never mind. We are on next week, but I won't be here.
All right.
And that's it. Tomorrow we're playing Breath of Fire, and then next Wednesday we're playing Breath of Fire, and next Friday might or might not be Drink Talk Roll without me as well. And,
Yeah, we can do it without you. I already have a plan. I just
okay,
thought of
never
it.
mind. We're doing it. Yeah, it's gonna be without me, with or without you. Anyway.
All right. Night, everybody.
Right. Out.